otherwise I'm live and she's trying to throw things at me. So anyways, this is Carol. I am the owner and creator of all things CarolJo. Let me try that one more time without Buttercup trying to give me something. My name is Carol. I am the owner and creator of all things you find at CarolJo's.com. All right, finally got that out. I do sell jewelry on my website. I don't usually do it here on social media, but this week I will have one at 12 o'clock on Friday, 12 o'clock Central. I will do a jewelry sale. It's been a few months since I've done a jewelry sale on social media. I usually do all my sales on my website, but we do more than just the jewelry here of selling it. Really, my TikTok is about doing the chat time where we can have a community where we can sit down and talk about, hi Geraldine, we can talk about the jewelry making and running the small business and just everything about the jewelry community. Hi Rose. Hi Rose's mom. And we will also do tutorials, which is what we have tonight. Hi, Melissa. And we will also do bead sales. So we've done a couple of them today. We did one yesterday, and we'll have one tomorrow, and then one on Friday and one on Saturday. So we have a few bead sales, more than we normally do, but with my schedule now, I can do more. But I also don't want to give up doing the tutorials and the chat time, so they are important to me also. So hi, Janet. So today with our tutorial, it is called the Heishi bead, or the polymer clay Heishi. Thanks, Rose. Wristlet. What that means is that we're going to use this style of bead. I'm going to bring it up close here on TikTok, and then I'll come over to YouTube. This is the Heishi beads that we had for sale this last weekend on Saturday. What they are is this one is a 6 millimeter size bead. Then they are sliced into 1.5 to 1.5 millimeters in length, or I'm sorry, 1 to 1. Let me get this right. It's a 0.5 to 1 millimeter thick slice. So they are very small slices. And so that is how those beads are made. We are going to take and put it on wire, and we are going to create a wristlet so that you can then, put this onto something that you need, and you can just carry it around like this. The amount of what you need here for the wristlet depends on each person's wrist. I made this one 10 inches for an example because most people have a bigger wrist than me. This size would actually be too big for me because if I didn't have something here to hang on to it, I will lose this off of my wrist. So that is one thing that you need to think about as we are making these, is take in mind about size of someone's wrist. So what you're going to need for supplies will be the different colors of Heishi beads. You can make this a solid color. We have in here some colors where I mixed some different, the different ones. Hi, Major Young, how are you tonight? You can do that. You will need some sort of bead here to bring the two wires together before you put them on your class. It just brings it better to the shape that we want for a wristlet shape by having a bead here. Also, you're going to need a lobster clasp. I did the lobster clasp with a swivel. I just like that more when I'm doing wristlets. Hi, Gia. Thank you. Hi, Louis. And then this one has the key ring on it. So you could actually have your keys on here, and then you can just hello, Ashley. And so you can attach it to something if you need to. Like for me, I have my wallet that has a little loop on it, the D-ring, and you can put it on there and you can just hang your wallet from it. Well, happy birthday, Ashley. You will also need, if you notice right here, let me get that to focus. We have 2 crimp tubes. Let me get that to focus over here. And those are the supplies you need for it besides wire. Also, for tools, you're going to need the crimp plier and then your flush cutters. And I also, to make sure I don't lose things off of there, I use a bead stopper. So that is what you need. So it's a pretty simple once you get to it. I will tell you that right here at where you're going to crimp this on, That is going to be the most frustrating part of it all, because you got two of them coming together and they are right next to each other, and trying to get the tool in on the second one sometimes is a little bit like, I don't have a better word for it than that. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some of the color. Excuse me. I had to go down to Buttercup's room to get my Heishi beads.
Did you put everything where it belongs?
I just have the tray right here.
I know, but you can put everything back because I had that covered up.
Yes, I put it all on top. All right, so these are my Heishi bead colors that I have that I grabbed. Okay. Is it Baja? I like that.
What do you mean?
Someone wrote, but I think this is a quote from somebody, so that's why I'm trying to think about it. I think, therefore I am. I believe someone has said that. All right, so I'm going to pick out a few colors here. Oh, I also forgot to say at the beginning, 10 shares, 10,000 likes on TikTok, and we will do bead soup giveaway or something else choice. All right, let's see. So earlier today, the colors I used were these two. So the one that I just showed you as an example of this one, that's these two together. I will. Just give me a minute. I'm going to pick out some colors here. All right. This is because they're polymer clay and then they're in slices. So it does look like, you know, like when I was a kid, we had candy necklaces that look like this. It's just the style of bead that this is. So yeah, that's what we're going to be using. And I'm going to try to figure out what colors do I want to use in this one.
Pink and...
Buttercup is saying pink, but I'm...
Pink and dark pink.
Well, I was thinking I wanted to use summer colors.
No, make a sunset one.
Oh, she wants a sunset one? So what one are you thinking, Miss B?
Buttercup.
Miss Buttercup. She doesn't like me saying Miss B.
Because that's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name.
Okay, Stacy. Are you thinking this one?
I want this one, and this one.
Okay. Well, I had this one in my hand.
That's why I said sunset.
Oh. So we're going to do these three in a combination of some sort. She wants sunset color. That's what Buttercup, if you don't know, is my granddaughter. And we don't say her name here unless I mess up. But her name, we call her Buttercup here.
But her name is,
we don't say the name. We just say Buttercup. Yeah, well, these aren't, I don't know that you would be able to chew them. So, but Buttercup wants me to tell you guys something that she is working on, and then I'm going to point our cameras down. So her and all of the girls in her classroom have gotten together, and they are going to, for show and tell tomorrow, do a cheer that she and one of her friends did. So she gets to be the flyer, and then two of her friends are going to hold her up.
Captain. Okay, here.
Oh, and she's cheer captain, too, because she said the flyer gets to be the captain.
Okay, here. Oh my goodness, this bag.
And then,
I'm saying it. I'm sorry. I'll say it. Okay. So me and my friends. So I'll be the flyer. So I'll be on top. Two of my friends are gonna hold up my feet, and then one's gonna be behind all of us. She's gonna catch my head. I'll have two other friends, cartwheeling separate ways, and then one on their knees
and cheering pom-poms. So yes. So she's got it all planned out, choreographed, everything. So yes. So she wanted you choreographed it. Choreographed.
Corey.
Oh, whatever.
Corey. Miranda. Corey.
Oh, okay. I wasn't knowing where you were going with that. All right. So I'm going to get these beads out of the containers they're in. And then we are going to get started. I'm going to point you down. While I am pointing you down, YouTube, I will not be able to see your comments. So I will look and try to get those answered. If I don't answer them, don't think that I'm ignoring you. It's just that I can't see it while I point down. So that's for YouTube. Sorry if I said TikTok. YouTube. TikTok, no, YouTube. I do have, hi sweetheart strings, I do have my backup account. And if I look up, I can see it too. All right. So one of the questions being asked is, what is your most favorite color that you've ever made? My favorite color is sage green. I love working with sage green. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but it is mine.
I've never seen that.
Oh, I just did something the other day with it. Okay, so YouTube, you're down. And then TikTok, you're down. All right, you guys should be seeing my bead mat. I always work on a bead mat to make it so my beads don't fly around. I have the 3 different color of the beads that we're going to be working with. I'm just going to grab a ruler to get my piece of wire. Now this one I made at 10.5 inches in length. And I'm going to make this next one a little bit smaller in length. So I'm just going to cut off because we're going to need about 10 inches and you need a little bit extra. So I made this about 18 inches of wire. Then we take our bead stopper, use the 2 parts here, open that up and put that wire on that bead stopper. And that's what stops your beads from falling. And then we can make a design of anything we want. All right. I think I'm going to start with some of this color first and do a few. And then I got to cut open this one because we have not used this strand yet. There we go. Nope, I didn't cut that all the way through. Hold on. I was like, when you first do these, if you're not careful, they fly everywhere. And I didn't want that to do that. Where do I get the bead stopper? Okay, I got my bead stoppers when I used to work at a bead store, but they went out of business because they moved away from South Dakota. And when they did that, I bought up a whole bunch. I use them pretty much. So I will add that to my list of things to source. I said I was going to do it, but I don't know that I ever wrote it down. So bead stoppers. And I will order some. You can also use Scotch tape in the interim. You just take a piece of tape and you just fold it over in half over your wire. And then when you're done with it, you just pull it off. That works too. But I'll order some bead stoppers. I am not going to sit here and count out all of the Heishi beads that we're going to put on. I'm just going to put a few on in just a mixed order. And you can do it however you want. You can do it with, I think I want to put one here. And I literally am just going to mix this up and just see what it looks like kind of mixed. Literally, I am not counting. Ooh, I do like that kind of combination. So I'm going to keep going. Yep, it is tutorial night, Miss not Rose, Joya, sorry. Calling you the wrong name there. I'm going to put some more white. And literally, I am not going to do a count of any kind. I am just going to random it. And we don't have any music on because we are on YouTube. And we can't play copyrighted music on YouTube. And let me know if you guys are experiencing any type of lag. I am... So there's what we've got so far. And that is reminding me of a sunset. So it's sunset at the beach. Well, we'll just leave you down there then, little dude. We'll pick you up. It is Butterfingers tonight. I did an anklet with it before. I'll show you in just a second the anklet. I haven't done these colors with the anklet because I just opened that one color tonight. All right, so here's what we've got so far. And this is 3 inches. So we're not quite a third of the way there. I need some of this color in there now. I'm going to be doing a big chunk. And you know what one I haven't done in the middle of all of that? I haven't done this orange in the middle of the coral. I wonder if I do this type of a transition. What does that look like? Ooh, I like that. And it's really just be random. And you guys can laugh at me because I am normally the type of person that needs to have them be symmetrical. And this will not be symmetrical tonight. All right, let's see where we're at now. Okay, we've got 4 1/4. So we are just about halfway there. Let's see, I'm going to do some more of this color. And then let's do this with one of these in between. Some of this. Let's do a couple of, or maybe one, a couple of these. Hi, Deborah, how are you doing? Oh, I have some of those off. Oh, well. Just have another stack. And when I was selling some of the polymer clay, that one's a really thin one. Some of the some of the strands had these mixes of different colors. You could really, truly, just use one of those and literally just take it off of, like, you wouldn't even have to take it off completely. You could actually just take this, go down with your wire in that center and then pull it off. And it could be the easiest wristlet or anything that you're going to make with these. With the polymer clay beads, you can make more than just this wristlet. I wanted to show you something else besides bracelets and the necklaces that we've done in the past. I wanted to show something else that you can make with them. We have done the anklets before, and Joya does the anklets and she wears them in the pool. So yeah, and you can literally just make anything you want with those. And that's why I thought I was going to do a tutorial today with some of these this week. And this is the one I picked. Just to be able to give you something to see with those beads that we sold. I know you might not have bought them. I normally only bring them to a sale twice a year because one of the things you will find is that a lot of times when you're making stuff, you know, like these are like 15 to 18 inches long of strands. And with them being that long, you can make at least 2 solid bracelets out of them, if not 3, depending on the size that you're doing. Hey, Jeannie, long time no talk. So, So sometimes they will last forever and sometimes they don't. Like if you're doing a necklace, that would be a solid one. It's going to take the whole strand to do the necklace. Hi, Jamie. Yep, they seem like it seems like they multiply when they come, when you take it off of the strand off or the end of it off. It just seems like it's never ending. All right, we are at 6 1/4 now, and here's what we got for our mix. Woo! If you guys didn't notice, I just have white ones all over my desk now. We're going to have to use those up. We can do this for a little bit. Not very much, though. I don't want to do it a lot in one spot. But we can do it for a little bit here. We'll go every other color will be white and then the other color. And get rid of a few. And then we'll put a couple. We'll do 3 of them here off of my table. I am ordering, just to let you know, I did, with my next order of beads going in, I am doing a lot more of these in different colors. I've got some more of the oranges coming because I noticed in the 6mm, I hardly had any oranges. And so we will be having, and so that's what I was going to tell y'all, is when we get the other colors in, I will bring those silicone, not the silicones, the polymer clay beads in when I receive them. And I might just do it by a size, like we would only do one size at a time. I'm bringing in a few 4mm. I have a lot of 4mm, so I don't need to do a lot with those or order a lot. But in the 6, I was missing some colors. So I decided I would order some more and get some 6s in different colors. So polymer clay beads will come in different sizes. There'll be 4, there's all the way down to 3mm. There's 3, there is 4, 5, 6, 8. And I do not have any of the 8s, and I don't plan on getting 8s, just so you know. I will do I'm ordering 4 and 6 because those are the most 2 popular sizes. We just had some fun ones in the 3s and 6s. Hey, Stacy. All right, let's see where we're at now. We are at 8 1/4. So I need about, I want to end somewhere between 9.5 and 10. The whole entire strand is $2.50 a strand is how much I charge for them. And you get the entire strand, and depending on the size, you are getting between 300 to 400 of the slices. You do loom? I have never done loom. I'm right at 9, so I need a little bit more here to end this. And the one thing I want to remind you here when you're going to end is you got to think about how this will look when you bring it around, because these two are going to come together at the bottom. So you want to make sure that your design just is nice there at the bottom also. I need to do a couple more down here. Oh, you're just looking. Okay. I was thinking I gotcha. Nope, you're welcomed in. This is a space where if you want to learn how to do something, making jewelry, that's what we teach here. But we also sell the stuff to make the jewelry, and we also have discussion time. So we love having new individuals come in and just hang out with us. All right, I'm at 9.5 here. So that is what this one will look like if I can get my fingers out of the way. That's where it'll end at. Kind of like that. I am going to tie him off because he doesn't have a container right now. They're going to go, there we go. All right, now I'm going to put these in their containers. We leave them on their strand while they're in the containers. The reason being is that if you're going to do what I said, where if you're going to have a solid for a while, it makes it easier to get them on there, less time. So that's why I picked the bigger containers, even though I could put them in the smaller containers and take them off the strand. For beading purposes, we're going to do that. I have beading wire that is the equivalent of like a, oh, what is it named? I can't think of it. AccuFlex, or there's another one that's flex. I can't think of the word. It's used for beading. It is 21 strands of really small wire all woven together. So that is what that is. Now, I need to have, like here, I'm going to give you the example here. We have a bead here where it's coming through. Now, you can use wooden beads if you want and keep this like, because you've got the clay, so it keeps it kind of naturalistic if you did that. But the thing I want to warn you about, because you have each one of the crimp tubes here, you want to make sure that your hole is going to be smaller on your bead than the two crimp tubes to combine. Some of the beads that you would use, like acrylic beads or also wooden beads, will have a larger hole, and then they will go down, and it'll give you it'll give you like something that you don't want in there for movement, and it'll create, when you're up here, you'll have a gap here. So you want to choose a bead that's a little bit smaller. And part of me wants to just grab a bead that's a different color. I don't know why, because we're talking about the sunset of the ocean. But you don't want to probably grab glass, because glass beads, when you're going to be rough with this, you'll have a tendency to try to break the glass bead. So I'm going to look at my acrylics and see if I can find one that is in that color of the ocean, you know, type color that has a small hole. So I'm going to look in my blue acrylics and see if I can find one that I like. Part of me is going to bling, and I don't know why. But let's see what this looks like. So I'm going to move this up just a little bit. And this string has to go through both pieces. And when you pick this bead, you may have to add beads on for it to lay right. And I'll explain this here in just a second. Yeah. Okay, this one will go in there fine because we've got the round. Do you see how when it comes up here, it allows to sit with that beads, and the polymer clay creates an area that's fine. Now, when I went to do this one is a flat circle, and it wasn't laying right. So I added two 3mm size beads there to try to get it to lay right. Does that make sense to everybody? But I like this. I don't know. What do you guys think? You tell me. What do you think about that blue bead at the end? And this is an acrylic bead, so it isn't going to break as easy as a glass bead. Joya says yes, so we're going with it. All right. Now we're going to need, thank you, Elizabeth. We're going to need, whoops, I poured out a whole bunch of crimp tubes. I just needed 2. Ah, thank you, Beats Beats. As always, I use, and it's hard to see, I'm going to put it in my palm of my hand and show both of you. It's right there. This is a 2mm crimp tube. That means it's 2 millimeters long, and it is a tube instead of like a bead. You're going to put one of them on here, on one of the 2 strands. You're going to grab your lobster clasp that you have here, and on the swivel part, I am going to put my wire through. You come back over the top of your swivel, and see, here's my tube right there in my finger, and I am going to push that through, and I'm also going to pull that. I forgot to put my bead stopper on. Whew, that was a scary sight for a second. And you are going to pull this through like that. It doesn't have to be snug up against it because, and what I meant is snug up against here with these beads. You just need to make sure that we have wiggle room with this. I do have a tutorial on how to do this. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Joya. And then you just go in here and you crimp it. There is what I was going to say is there is a video on how to do the crimp. So this isn't something new that we're doing tonight for the crimp. And that video goes step by step. And I got to get that out of my way. There we go. Turn you sideways. There we go. There we go. Whoop. I didn't get him crimped good enough. There we go. Use my thumb. Yep, he's on there. We still have this piece here. But before we get to that part, we have this little tail part, and we want to cut him off. He's gone. Now we still have this side here. I'm going to take my bead stopper off. You could use the wire guard on there. And you know what I was also thinking about too with these? Those lollipops that you guys talk about, I think would be easier on here than the crimp tubes because it gets really hard. And yes, I did leave this one bigger than I normally do because it gets really hard to get in here with both of the wires. Whenever you're doing double wires, it's harder. So once again, we're going to put that wire through here, and you will come around over the top and through that blue bead. So you have it like, I'm trying to get my fingers and get it to focus. You see how that's there? But the one thing that you got to do is you got to get all this extra play out of the beads. And this is where it is a little bit of a harder than normal. There we got. And I used a plier earlier to try to get that to be in there really tight. There. And what I mean by tight is down here. I don't want, get out of the way there. I don't want any extra space down here. And I'm trying to get this all tight before I get my stuff tied up above. All right. And this is where I had a problem earlier, is getting this smushed like you would a crimp tube. And I ended up just smushing it flat on the second one, like that. I don't like it, but that's the only way I could get it so it's all tight and together. If anybody has a better way to crimp it, and that's why I said the lollipops would be better, I think, in all honesty. But I've never used the lollipop, so I don't know. Yep, there it is. So there is, I'm going to bring you guys up so that you guys can see this. There we go. And there is that wristlet. See how the colors, and this one fits me better. Everybody has different size wrists, but this one fits me better than this one. This one is too big for my wrist, but someone else's wrist, this would be perfectly fine. This is 10.5 inches of beads, and this one is 9.5. And see, there is a little bit of a difference in the size, but we all have different size wrists and hands. So those are the two that we've made today from this. And I literally was like trying to figure out a different way to make these. And I thought, why not do this? And I just did it. So if you guys have better ideas of how to put this together and have tried it, please tell me in the comments. But I wanted to give you guys something to think about because these are so soft. They're not going to hurt your wrist. Oh, I always forget about crimp covers. That might be a good one. Thanks, Joya, for that idea. But yep, that is, and to me, it's a way to use different colors. So like when I've made my anklets and stuff, let me show you. Like here, if you saw, we did like the blocking. So, and it just worked out. This was not planned, I will tell you. The way that we did the pink, the whites, and then the pink, the whites and the pink, and then the white and pink up here. There's pink in the middle of that white. Let me see if I get it to focus. Not very much, but just a little bit. But the way it turned out, I didn't really plan this out and said, here's where it's going to be. I just did it, and it just came out this way. Is it even? No. Am I upset with that? No, I'm not. I think it is just really cool. So let me just do whatever you want and do that together. So when we've done the anklets, I'll show you what we did there. This one is a 4mm. And so here we did it in section blocks. We added a charm, but then we added the colors here. And this is a strand of already mixed beads. And we just use the solids and the mix together. You could do the same thing on this using the solids in the mix, and that will make it, stringing it will take a lot less time. This took me all of like not even 5 minutes to do the to string all the beads on. You guys saw this took about 20 minutes. So depending on how much time and effort you want to go into it. Here, this one is using the black and or the white and gray Heishis with that orangey color. It's the same color that we have in this one. Now, do the oranges, because of mixing the beads differently, they kind of look the same, but they have totally different feels. So that's the one thing I want you to take out of tonight, is how you mix the beads can give you a 100% total different feel. Here's another one where we mix. I'm just showing you guys these so you can see. This mix that's in this one here is the same as this. They're just in different areas. And you can see how the different colors in the different areas come out differently. And then this is the last one of these are anklets. These are not the wristlet. I just want to give them to you for colors. Here we did the white with the blue. It might be purple. It's like a purpley blue periwinkle color. And so the white, nope, it's not the same white as this one. This one is more of a light yellow is what this one is. So if you look at this one here has white, and you see how they looked like this was white until you have white up against it. This one is it's either champagne chiffon or champagne yellow or light yellow. I can't remember the color name, but up against white, you can see that color difference. So I just wanted to show you how you can use different colors. And that's why I know when we were selling these on Saturday, Melissa was saying, why aren't people buying these? And it's like trying to figure out with the Heishi beads. You know, we all think of Heishi beads as the Hawaiian beads that you get while you're on vacation. Or if you go to the Caribbean, it's the beads you get on vacation. I want you to take and figure out, and how can we use them to not make them look like the vacation look, but yet is really stylish. And so like literally when I see this, I do not see that Hawaiian look, and not even like with this one, I don't at all. So that's why I want you to think about how can we make these into some sort of jewelry. And the thing is that I'm going to show you, you can even stack these as bracelets and make them with stretchy and make them bracelets. And they are waterproof, as Joya says in the chat. They are waterproof. So Joya uses them a lot to make anklets that she spends her summers in the water. She is the water baby, even though she'll tell you she's not a baby right now, but she loves the water. You can take them and put them in the water. You know, some people shower with their jewelry. Some people go into the water, you know, swimming pools or the lakes or rivers or oceans with it. One thing I will tell you is that you will, when you do that, the wire that we are using, it's right here. I had to figure out where it was at on my table. This will deteriorate over time because of all the chemical reactions that happen with the water and everything that is in the waters. So like when you're in a pool, like a chlorinated pool, all those chemicals will react to this. There is, like where we live at, there is chemicals in our water that we take our showers with. And so it will react at some point. And so you just have to watch your jewelry when you do that and know you will see it starting to expand. And I don't know how else to say it than it'll expand. You will notice that it is a little bit looser fitting. And oh, she uses stretchy for her water ones. Good idea, Joya. She uses stretchy. But you will know that that will happen and you'll see this, it just little spaces that weren't there before. That's the time to restring it. And you know what? This bracelet here, I will tell you guys, you can restring your jewelry and keep it longer. This bracelet here, I have had, I don't even know how many years. I got it before I was even married. I know that. Holy buckets, because Lynette wasn't working there when I got married. Oh my Lord. This is, I will be married 12 years this year in April. And this bracelet is older than that. Every few years I do have to do it. Your bracelets are just whoop. So that's what I was going to say, is that if you can restring your jewelry, you can restring it into something new. That's one of the things. Buttercup is in Girl Scouts. You guys have heard me talking about that. And they are actually having a day, but for her age group, she can't do it. You have to be older to do it. So here in the next couple of years, she'll be able to do it, where they take recycled things and make new art out of it. You can take old jewelry and make it into something new. So you don't always have to buy beads. You can buy old jewelry, or if you have old jewelry at your house, or have a sentimental piece from a grandparent or a loved one that you like, you can restring it into something else. I am not good at seeing that and doing that, so that would not be a class for me to teach. But yeah, oh good, I'm glad you like that idea. So for me, I use a wristlet on my wallet. I have a little thing on there, and so I can just hook this on, and then I just walk through the store. I hold my wallet, but I just have it on my wristlet so that if I'm trying to grab something, it's not sitting in my cart, it's on me. And so then I don't have to take my whole purse into the store. I literally just have the wristlet and just hold my wallet. The cart, you can just set it in the wallet on there and you've got that there. Just for an added security for me, I just do that with my wallet all the time. I just started doing it last year and I'm loving it a lot more, carrying around my big bulky purse. I will take the purse in the vehicle with me, and I take my wallet out when I'm in the store. So that if anybody needs a Band-Aid or Tylenol or anything like that, I still have the medicine cabinet, as I call it, or my husband needs the toothpick. I've got them there. It's just out in the car and we have to wait till we get to the car to get it. But yeah, that's what I do. And I love wristlets. I have not done any silicone bead wristlets and I need to. So yep, I'm glad I gave you guys something new to think about. So if you guys are making these and you can come up with ways to make it easier than what I've shown tonight, will you please share your ideas while you're making them with me so that we can make it a better item? but I'm glad you guys were able to be able to see this tonight. I'll tell you about my schedule for the rest of the week. I'm going to bring it up so I don't mess it up like I did last night. Oh, you can bling it out for. All right, let me get into my normal account here. I'm on my backup account on TikTok, so I got to go to my other one here so I can get it all up. Go, there we go. It's going now. It's being slow. Thank you, Mia, for the heart me. I appreciate that. It is slowly getting there. Oh, I'll change it over to the Wi-Fi. That might help me out and getting it to pop up faster. I don't have it on Wi-Fi. Go. I know tomorrow at 2, I will be doing another silicone bead sale. And what we're going to do tomorrow for that silicone bead sale is I will have some focals. I will have a few of the print beads, 15 millimeters round prints, and then we're bringing the pens back. I will look and see if I have an update. Thank you for sharing. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And then Thursday, we are going to be doing another trendy necklace. So if you guys would have seen my Tip Tuesday, right? I did that one earlier, like later afternoon. It is about the style of necklace that you can possibly wear with this type of a neckline, like when it's up higher, or if you're going to layer, what you can do. It will be one of those that we can do for the layered look. And then next week, I'm planning to do a different tutorial on another trendy necklace that you could wear with this style of a shirt, but it's with larger beads. So the one that we're going to do on Thursday will be used with 4 and 6 millimeter size beads. The technique for making it and doing it is not new. But the style of beads and what it is what I want you to see and understand that to help you make that type of a trendy jewelry for the summer. So we'll have that on Thursday. Friday at noon, we will be doing a jewelry sale, which I haven't done in a while. And then on Friday night at 7 p.m., we are going to have a bead sale. And then we're also going to have a second bead sale on Saturday at 10 a.m. I normally don't do 2 bead sales like this, but I just thought we're going to do it this weekend. And I asked you what you wanted for Saturday, and yesterday it was a majority of let's do a second bead sale. So we're not going to make it a special one, that type of thing. So that is what we're going to be doing for this week. Monday of next week will be what we call our subscriber night. So when you see the live, excuse me, down below, there is a star with a circle around it here on TikTok. If you subscribe to me through that, it is $2.99 a month. You get to come to a subscriber only commenting. Hi, is it Army? Is it Armel? I'm like trying to read what it is. You got to tell me over here on YouTube. But anyways, we are going to have subscriber night where subscribers are the only ones that can comment. Everybody else gets to see the live, but only those that subscribe will be able to comment and claim. We do different things. There's always a discount with that. Oh, it's Ashley. Hey, Ashley. So yes, you found me now. Now you'll be able to follow or subscribe on YouTube. YouTube subscribes, whereas TikTok follows. So that's what we've got there. But so we will have that on Monday night. Next Saturday, a week from Saturday, which I believe is April 5th, if I remember my dates right. Don't quote me. We're going to be doing the cabochon sale again. And Buttercup asked me, and I'm going to grab it here because I didn't know I had this. Buttercup asked if, holy, it's heavy. If I had some cages for like pearls and beads and certain things that she wanted. And in the midst of that, I found more cabochons. And some of the cabochons have glass. So we have the cabochon settings. So, like here, I try to get in this bag right. Oh, there's 2 bags and I'm going in between them. I thought I didn't have any more squares. I found the 25 millimeter squares, everybody. So, and we have the setting for it. So we have those also. So we have lots of things that we can sell for the cabochon besides what I already have. But we have a lot of, these are all glass cabochons in this container along with, oh, I just found this too in here. This is another one for the square. So we're going to have a lot of cabochons next Saturday. We got some new ones. We'll bring back some old ones. And then we found some more here. So we're going to do another cabochon day. And then I already know what I'm going to do for one of my tutorials. I got to figure out the second tutorial. And I also need to figure out for next week what we're going to do for our kits. This week's kits, we're going to do the kits on Friday night. They will be the first thing that we do. They are going to be, I'm going to go grab them so I can show you. Because we got a few minutes here. So hold on, everybody. Okay, I'm coming back. Because I have to get the kits together yet, but I am going to get those done here this week before Friday. But what we're going to do is you'll have one of the kits will have some sort of the flower in the pot along with other beads so that you can make it into a pen or into a keychain. It will just be the silicone beads. It's not going to have the pen attached in there or the this, but we're going to have it so you can decide which way you want to go. The other style of kits will be the same thing, only with a different focal. It is a different flower focal. And it's like a larger flower focal like this. And this one has it just one-sided and this goes down the center. So we're going to have, each color will have 2 kits. And they will just have beads in there. And we'll go through those kits when we go to do those on Friday night. So I'm excited to do Friday night's kits. All right. So that is everything that we have for tonight. Once again, I'll be live with silicones tomorrow. I have not tried to put them on there. I don't know if the hole is big enough. But try getting some on and letting me know. Well, I have those, though. I will have some. Let me see if I can play around with it, too, Joya. Okay? So, yeah. But that is what we've got going on. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun things. And I got to figure out the kits for next week. Because I'm going to try to be ahead of schedule and try getting them thought through. Hi, Flame Craft. How are you? So, I hope you guys enjoyed another way to use the polymer clay beads, making a wristlet. And as always, I forgot to tell you all this. Because I am on YouTube, okay, I now know who you are. So when we can do things on YouTube, I save the YouTube recording of the live, and they are out there for you to view again. So if you're not going to make this right away, but you want to remember how to do it, you can always go over there and do it. We are making a tutorial on the wristlet with using polymer clay Heishi beads is what we did. So that is what you can always do. For those of you here on TikTok, to get there to subscribe, if you go to that CJS logo at the top, CJS logo at the bottom, that will get you to my profile. In my profile, there is a line that says Lemon 8 and more with it. Oh, no, you're okay. You can touch that, and down below you're going to see two things pop up. The second one is the one that you want to touch, the one that says tree in it. So take that and go to that list. Once that list pops up, scroll all the way to the bottom, and that one is the YouTube one. If you touch that, it will send you over there, and then you can subscribe and get notified when we have new videos. I was going to say, don't be sorry. It's okay. It was just something fun and creative that we wanted to show tonight. So this is how you can use metal beads. You can use your acrylic beads and all sorts of polymer clay beads to make something fun. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get going. So we may not be here. Okay. So everybody, I want to tell you, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m., not 2 a.m. I'm sleeping at 2 a.m. All right. You guys have a good one. Bye.